school systems today, does that responsibility to provide that kind of education fall to teachers or to school nurses? Or is it a combination?
Well, the state of Ohio, each district can decide for themselves how to handle it.
Okay.
So the district can have a health curriculum, but this is an area that's not enforced, or monitored. So I can tell all the fourth grade teachers, go teach your students about reproductive anatomy, but nobody's following up, number one, to make sure they do that. But number two, a lot of people aren't comfy with that, and I totally get that. This is not everybody's, area of comfort.
Right, right.
Just today I stood in front of fourth graders and was talking about testicles and penises and scrotum and all these little faces.
Well, now, how was that allowed? I mean,
because our district approved it.
Okay.
So that's how I made that change. I gathered together, I got permission to look into this, and then I gathered together a group of community members who know what they're talking about, because I didn't when I started, like physicians and social workers and counselors, and started just questioning them about what their sort of dream sex ed curriculum would look like, and eventually whittled it down to what I personally could do. Because I think with sex ed, it isn't ideal to ask teachers to do it, because just some people are just so uncomfy with it that it will be a disservice to the kid if they don't have someone who's enthusiastically and comfortable standing in front of them talking about nocturnal emissions. You want someone who's up there who can help normalize it instead of standing up there being embarrassed. So I think it depends school to school. I mean, our district, I just decided to do this, and I'm just doing it. I don't, I don't know what it could become.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I've been lucky that it's been so supported, though.
So you mentioned fourth graders.
Yeah.
Is that where, through your committee work and the research that you've done, is that where you think a formal sex ed component of a school curriculum should begin?
I mean, if I were just dreaming, I would start sex ed in kindergarten. I might not call it that because a lot of parents would feel uncomfortable with that, but I think using proper terminology and basic understanding of bodily autonomy needs to begin for sure in kindergarten. And that would mean someone sitting down with them and, talking about the difference between your vulva and your anus and your vagina, these kinds of things. And and a lot of kids are raised with, the sort of nicknames for parts, and that can be a disservice to them long term. So I would start young. I mean, I think the more it's talked about in factual, non-flustered ways earlier, the better off the kids are going to be. So if in my dream world, I'd start that right off the bat, and nothing extensive, but just a couple of lessons, to come in and just start talking about bodies.